Hey guys, let's say you've chosen an investment platform. How exactly do you decide what funds you're going to invest in? Today I want to give you guys a guide, a step-by-step guide for how to choose what funds to invest in order to achieve your goals.
That's right, and whether you're investing in a stocks and shares ISA or pensions or a general investment account, what we share with you today will help you make better decisions on what funds to invest in. Today's video is sponsored by PensionBee, a platform I use to manage one of my pensions. PensionBee is an online pension provider that has helped over 799,000 people become pension confident. They can help you combine your old pensions together into one simple online plan or start a pension from scratch. So guys, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how I pick funds for my pension.
Guys, it's super important to note that everything we're going to be sharing with you on today's video is 100% our own views and not influenced by anybody else. If you're really enjoying the vibes from today's video, we'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button, because that just shows us that you enjoy the sort of videos that we're putting out here on our channel. All right, let's jump straight in. So step one is to be clear on your investment goals. Let's say, for example, that you are a 35-year-old who is aiming to retire in 30 years from now with an investment portfolio of £750,000. It's very clear from that what your investment goals are and how much you are aiming to achieve. Therefore, choosing an investment fund is super important because if you choose the right funds that generate the right returns for you over time, you're much more likely to achieve that goal in that 30-year period, for that example.
Next is to decide on income or growth. So for the example we mentioned previously for the 35-year-old, they're likely to be focusing here on growth of their portfolio rather than their portfolio paying them an income. However, you can have both. If your portfolio does pay you out an income, you ideally want to reinvest that income into your portfolio so that compounding can work for you in the long term. So for that, you might want to focus on funds that are accumulation rather than income or distributing. Accumulation is where your income is reinvested automatically into your funds so that compounding can work in your favor.
Okay, step three is to choose an investment strategy. So here you want to decide whether you want funds that are active in nature or passive in nature. Active funds are ones where an investment manager is picking stocks or funds and making investment decisions on your behalf, whereas passive funds are trackers by nature. So here we're talking things like index funds or ETFs. ETFs tend to be cheaper than index funds, although generally both are trackers and are usually a lot cheaper than actively managed funds themselves. You can also have ready-made portfolios based around your levels of risk or interest. Say, for example, you might be someone who wants to invest in funds that are environmentally friendly. To see the investment strategy of a particular fund or the fund objective, head over to the fund fact sheet where this is detailed very clearly for you.
Okay, so a quick pause to share with you guys how I choose my pension funds with PensionBee, who also happen to be the sponsors of today's video. So I'm now going to show you how I chose my funds over at PensionBee. Go over to PensionBee website and over at their top menu, go to our services and select plans. If you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see they have a list of plans. So it's categorized by all plans, core, responsible, lower risk, mid risk, and high risk. I'm interested in the mid risk based on the points that we share with you in this video. And so I selected the tailored plan. And if you wanted to know more information about the particular plan that you want to invest your funds in, you can click on plan info. And here, the reason why I invested my money into the tailored plan is because, as you can see from here, you invest your money differently as you go through life, moving your money into safe investments as you get older. And this graph pretty much shows it. When in your younger years, it invests your funds for growth. And as you get older, it then invests for stability in places such as commodities, bonds, and gilts. So if you scroll down, select your age, and then it gives you more information about the particular fund you want to invest in. You can see the asset allocation here. It's heavily invested into equities. And then on the right-hand side, you can see where the assets are, with the majority of it being in North America. And to get more information about a particular fund, you click on the tailored plan fact sheet as we mentioned in our video. It also shows you here what the annual fee is, which is 0.70, and we said that a good fund would be 0 point something. I'm happy with this annual fee. Okay, so now let's look further into the fact sheet, which I've got opened up on another tab. And this fact sheet just tells you a bit more about the funds that you're going to invest in. So you've got here the fund overview, where it says the fund objective is to provide retirement funds with an asset allocation that changes over time. You can read more information in your own time. It then talks about some of the key risks, and you can see some key facts such as the size of the fund. So this particular fund is £363 million. And you can also see the performance of this fund. So from the inception of this fund in 2016, you can see how it's performed over the years up to 2021. And you can scroll down for more information about this particular fund to go into more detail. So having gone through the checklist that we shared with you on this video, I'm quite happy to invest my money into this particular fund. But just note that this is not financial advice. To get started with combining your pension in minutes, or starting a pension from scratch, or opening a new pension from scratch if you're self-employed, check out Pension Bee. We'll put a link to Pension Bee above and below for you to check out and get started. As always, with investments, your capital is at risk.
All right, so step 4 is to decide on your risk appetites. Some funds show risk levels as either low risk or mid risk or higher risk, whereas some other funds show them as levels, ranging from levels 1 to 6. So for example, levels 1 or 2 indicate that this particular fund is made up predominantly of bonds and it's low risk. If it's in the middle, say at level 3 or 4, it indicates that it's mid-risk, and that particular fund would be made up of a mix of equities, which are much more risky, and bonds, which are a lot less risky. And if the level of risk is around 5 or 6, this indicates that this is a much higher risk fund that you're investing your money into. And that particular fund will be made up of predominantly equities. So the asset mix, the asset allocation will be 100% equities. Now, the reason all this matters is that a higher risk fund usually leads to a higher reward or higher return over time. And this matters when it comes to achieving your goals. So choosing a fund that really matches your risk appetite is very important when you are choosing funds.
Next is to choose fund size and age. Here, you want a fund that is of a decent size, ideally at least 100 million. In terms of the age of the fund, we'd say the longer the better, because it gives you the opportunity to review their track record over time. Look out for at least 5 to 10 years of performance data. Bear in mind that past performance is not an indicator of future performance.
If you are looking for a particular fund and you're wondering where you find information such as the age or the size of the fund, you can find these quite easily in the fund fact sheet. Okay? And some investment platforms also provide you with a filtering system where you're able to tick and choose funds that cover the various criteria that we are sharing with you guys on today's video. All right, so step 6 is to decide on what region to invest your money in. Okay, it's very important when you invest your money for your money to be well diversified. By this, we're talking about being diversified across different asset classes, but equally across different regions as well. Now, regions you can invest your money into include investing in globally, Asia Pacific, or into Europe, emerging markets, Japan, UK, USA, and so on. It's very important when you invest your money not to have local bias, but to actually think outside of where you currently live and think about the specific market you want to invest your money into. We personally, living in the UK, prefer to have our money invested globally, and so have that preference when we invest our money using passive trackers, for example. But you can also have funds that you invest into that exclude different areas. So for example, you could have a fund that focuses on the developed world, but excluding an area like the UK, for example, if you already had too much UK exposure, for example.
Number 7 is to take a look at fees. Fees for investing in a fund, also known as the ongoing charge figure or OCF, are usually expressed in a form of a percentage. You'll usually get charged annually for running the fund you invest in.
Although it's worth mentioning that some funds actually charge you daily, but you might see the percentage expressed as an annual charge.
Investing costs money as you're paying for a service. However, what you choose to pay for that service matters and can affect the returns you generate. The higher your fees, the less money you have working for you in the future. So ideally, you want to focus on a fund with lower fees. Something around 0 point something is good. But choosing the fund with the lowest fees should not be the only focus. You should instead look at this from a long-term perspective and consider other factors, such as the quality of service that you're getting from your platform provider.
All right, step 8 is to review past performance. Now, past performance is good to look at because it gives you a real indication of the track record for that particular fund. Say, for example, has that fund delivered a good return year on year? Or has it paid out a dividend on a consistent basis, and so on? It's worth noting, though, that as much as you look at the past and past performance is not a reliable indicator for future performance. In terms of where you can actually find information on the past performance, you can look at this inside of the fund fact sheet, or you can take a look at the key investor information document, or the KID, for those of you who are UK investors.
Number 9 is to check the minimum amount that you can invest. Various funds have various minimum amounts that you need to meet in order to invest in them. For example, some require £500 minimum, whereas others require £100 minimum for you to invest in per month. And you have some which have lower minimums. Simply check that you're happy with the minimum amount required to invest in that fund.
All right, and the final step on this video is to think about tax. Make sure that you consider carefully what accounts you are investing your money with for your funds and why. There is a tax implication to investing money in the stock market, particularly when you come to sell your funds. So you want to make sure really that you're using the right accounts, and that those accounts, whether they be your stocks and shares ISA or your pension or any other accounts, make sure that those accounts can actually hold those funds, having considered what the tax implications are of investing in those funds. In conclusion, choosing what funds to invest in is important because it will dictate how quickly you achieve your financial goals. Most people, when they invest into funds, tend to automate them and just forget about them and invest into them month after month. So it's very important that you follow these various steps that we'll share today on this video in helping you choose the right funds. Aim for a maximum of around 2 to 3 funds when it comes to investing your money. And do make sure you watch out for any overlaps between these funds so you don't have funds investing in the same regions more than you want to.
That's it for today's video, guys. We really hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, hit that like button to indicate to us that you've loved it.
Subscribe, people.
And subscribe if you haven't already. Guys, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What do you consider to be the most important when you're investing in a fund? Let us know in the comment section. We'd love to have a discussion. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as ever, in all things, be thankful and seek joy. Take care.
Take care, people.
Bye.
Bye.